welcome. My name's Marie and this is my yarn journey. If you haven't been here before, this is my knitting podcast. I'm not sure how much there is going to be to say today because I've mainly worked on one project this week, and also I've cast on something new. And you will have seen a lot of the information if you've watched the East Anglia Yarn Festival vlog, which I had a fantastic weekend. Me and Mona went to East Anglia Yarn. If you haven't seen that, best festival I've been to, and hopefully we get to go again in the future. Thinking maybe, and I've not said this to Mona yet, but maybe thinking about driving there if we decide to go next year, and just maybe doing the one night, because it was pretty tiring. And with what happened this year, we were only at the show till mid-afternoon, so I do think it might be doable because it's a 4.5 hour approximately drive, and we could stop at a few services if we needed to, you know, for a little rest. So I need to speak to Mona anyway and see how she feels about that. Anyway, that's a bit of a side tangent, but it's just what was going through my mind. Really enjoyed the show. Got lots of footage. The video was like over 1 hour and 10, and yeah, seems to be that you are enjoying the video too. I don't know if we will be going to any more festivals this year. If we do, I think it'll be one that we can get there and back in a day, just to keep the costs down. There's one in Blackpool that's a potential that I think, but as East Anglia Yarn Festival was really my choice, I'm going to see what Mona wants to do. So, what am I going to talk about first? So, I'll tell you what I'm wearing. You've seen this before if you've watched the podcast, but if not, this is my Very Vite by Jessie Made Designs. This is in a Sorel yarn called Newsprint. It's DK weight, and it's quite a cropped one, especially for me. With these pants that I've got on, it falls at quite a good length, although I still think I would like another inch just to make it a bit more comfortable to wear. And although I love the sleeve length on this, I probably would have liked to have full length, but it's a nice in-between season garment. Oh, there's a massive bumblebee at the window there. It's a nice in-between, you know, this time of year and probably the back end of summer. A nice one, transition, that's what the word I was looking for. And where you can find me, I am on Instagram, and it's Maries_yarn_journey. I am trying to be a bit more active with putting up information on there for my works in progress and all that types of things, but I'm not always the greatest on social media. And what else do I want to tell you? You can email me if you want to get in touch, and that is mariesjarnjourney@outlook.com. And I do have a Discord channel if any of you would like to head over there to join in the chat, and that is also where I am hosting my early bird gift knits Cal, and that is running from the beginning of March till the end of May, and it's just so that we can get ahead with a few of our gift knits and not be knitting them all last minute or in December. My aim this year is to not be knitting gifts in December, and I will actually just grab that and show you it. I think it's in this one, isn't it? While I'm talking about that, because I've not really made any progress, and to be honest, I don't think I've made any progress since the last podcast. But this is the Chantal mittens by Morka Knits that I am working on. Last week I was really good, and I was doing a couple of rows on this and a couple of rows on my sock, and then working on my main project, and that was working great. But it just all fell off the so I went to the wayside, you know, when I was very, very busy last Thursday, and then I've got the weekend where I was going away, and I only took 2 projects with me. Spoiler alert, only worked on 1 if you haven't seen that. And yes, so that and the sock have gone by the wayside, but I do want to pick them up again this week because I really want to make progress on them. I don't feel I'm doing very well at the moment at getting things finished. Now, it's only March and I have finished 2 garments already this year, but I just feel as though I've got a lot on my needles and not a lot of finished stuff. Yeah, so I think, have I finished anything else? Just let me look in my little trusty notebook. So I've done the muscle burrow. When did I? Actually, it was very, very interesting to me anyways. I was looking through my notebook, writing in my ins and outs this morning, and actually, according to this, if I've written it down correctly, I actually got less yarn in from Yarndale in September than I did from East Anglia Yarn Festival. I'm quite surprised about that because I thought I was really, really good. So yeah, but January, let's have a look. Oh yes, so I've done 2 muscle burrows since January. I forgot about that. I've done the hibernal socks. I've done the Mudo sweater, the cognac sweater, and yeah, the other muscle burrow. So 2 sweaters, 1 sock and 2 hats, which I don't know why. For some reason I just feel like, I think it's because there's a lot of projects languishing on my needles that I really want to get finished, but I just keep wanting to cast on new stuff. It's just the way I am at the moment, and I don't want to put too much pressure on myself because at the end of the day, this is a hobby, and in my mind we should be enjoying our hobby and not putting too much pressure on ourselves, because at the end of the day there's no rules. There's only rules you put on yourself, and if those rules are making you feel miserable about your hobby, then, you know, don't have them. Well, that's my 2 pence anyway. Yeah, so I do want to make a plan, obviously, to get things finished. I don't want loads of stuff, because the problem is as well, if you leave things too long, it's something that I've found, your attention can change, you fall out of love with the project, it's not seasonal, or there's lots of factors that can make it just like that you just don't really want to be bothered with it anymore. Although sometimes I feel with some projects, if you've had a few issues, it is good to have a little break and come back to it. So what I'll do now is I will tell you what I've been working on. Both are in brand new project bags, which are project bags I got at East Anglia. One of them I knew I wanted the bag, and I've bought 2, and one is for a gift for prize, sorry, not a gift, prize for the early bird gift knits cal. So if you're wanting to do gift knits and you know that you want to get them done for Christmas or for any occasion, birthdays, Mother's Days, whatever, I'd highly recommend that you get involved, because we can get it done quicker. It's over and done with. It's off our list, out of our minds, and then you have got a chance of winning prizes as well, because it's not just finished objects. Anyone who gets involved can be eligible to win prizes. It's for whips. I don't care when you did them, or if you started them before. It's very, very relaxed. It's just to get ahead with getting those gifts done. Hence the early bird catches the worm. reference. You can, if you're not wanting to join the Discord group as well, you can go ahead and post your pictures under the hashtag earlybirdgiftnits, but then you just need to make sure to tag me, and then I see the post, and you will also be entered into the prize to win. And so I think you'll know what this is, because I told you I was taking this in the podcast, I think. But it's now living in this project bag, because and it may be a little bit of a tight squeeze, but I absolutely love this bag and I wanted to start using it straight away. And this is my Eclipse top by, I think it's Jose Paquin, but I'll put that on the screen. And I've made quite a bit of progress, and I'll show you the side where I've got my stitch markers, progress keepers. So I'm going to try and hold it up in a way that you can see it. Here is when we started our journey to East Anglia, and here is where I was at the end of the trip. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stripes on the trip. Now, a lot of that was on the train back. The funny thing was, on the way there, I didn't get as much done as I thought. Throughout the whole weekend I didn't, because it was quite busy, quite tiring, so I wasn't always in the mood to do the knitting. And funnily enough, we were getting ready for the train, both of us were absolutely shattered on the Sunday, and we were waiting for the first train, which thankfully on the way back we got on the longest part of the journey first, which was nice, and managed to get a good seats. And I thought, I'm going to be doing no knitting on this train, I'm way too tired. And actually having the knitting and doing that was a bit of a saviour really for that journey. And I'll just show you this little, that's my East Anglia Yarn Festival. I think that came in my goodie bag, and it was from that Tom, is it Dyson Woodworks? His stuff is really good. I would highly recommend you head over there. And I've popped on some of my new needle stoppers, which is the gonks holding the takeaway coffee mug. Now, since I've got back, let me just count. I have done 1, 2, 3, I've done 4 stripes. I've not done too much. And let's just see, let's add them all up now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I've got 16 stripes so far. And my other Eclipse top, the red and rose one, that has 27 stripes, and I'm going to do it the same length. I'm using similar fibres, and I would imagine this is going to grow slightly. So yeah, I'm happy to do the same length as what I did in the other one. Oh, and this is, I'm not sure I told you this was from the Woolly Tangle. She had some lovely fabrics, but as soon as we went to the stall, Mona was looking for a green wax bag, and they are absolutely stunning, those bags. And while she was looking for that, this was winking at me. She had them all hung up on this really nice rack where you could easily see all the fabrics. And she had quite a lot to choose from. And I just saw this and I was like, I've got to get that. I can't walk away without getting that. The fabric is absolutely lovely. And it's a nice little size. So you can do, bear in mind, I've got what's left of my 2 skeins in the bottom here. And then I've got my top in here. So you can do a 2 skein project in the smallest size. Well, I think this is the smallest size of her bags, if you wanted to know for reference. And then this is my Tea Cake and Makes bag. This is the one that I knew I wanted to get from the show. So I was in a hunt for her stall. walked past it about 4 times without even realising probably. And then went on a mad run round and finally found it. And I got one of these as well, like I say, for the giveaway for the early bird gift. It's Cal. I just really love this print and the colours are beautiful. And in here I do have a new cast on, and I'll let you have a little peek inside. Okay, so there's not very much to this, but so far it is looking just as I was expecting. And I'll tell you a little tale here which had Mona in stitches last night. I saw this pattern because I was looking for a pattern that I could potentially use this, or not necessarily this at the time when I was looking for it. The backstory to it is I love the fact that my Eclipse, I could use one of my single skeins of hand-dyed yarn that was just hanging about in stash and not knowing what to do with. And then I used it with a knitting for olive cotton merino, and they were both stuff that were just in stash, and I managed to get a usables top out of it that I absolutely love. So that's been in the back of my mind. And then I thought I would look for some other tops with a similar vibe that I might be able to get away with using. One skein of hand dyed was my thought, and then one skein of commercial or a solid colour to make a wearable garment. And when I can use my hand dyed skeins in a garment that I love, I really feel like I'm winning somehow. And this is my Christmas Day skein from my Advent last year from Blue Fern Yarns. And I had a think about it. I'd found the pattern that I'm doing with this, which is, I'll tell you the name of in a minute. And I went to the show. I had a look online and I'd seen a knitting for olive colour called Blue Tit that I quite fancied trying with it. I fancied trying a blue with it. I don't have many blue garments, and I'd done a dusty blue top and my partner had said that suited me. So I ended up getting this skein from Craft House Magic. Now I know with these two colours that there's a potential for it to be a bit more low contrast, and for at some points the stripes to merge, but I was happy with that. I thought this would be a fun and interesting combination to do in a garment. Now the funny tale to tell you about this is that so I went on and I've been looking at the pattern, I've been looking what I had in stash, and then I knew I wanted to get one skein. So I'd taken my Christmas Day skein to East Anglia. I managed to get that blue one, which is called Night Shift from Craft House Magic. And that was all fine. I came home and then yesterday I thought, do you know what? I've really got the urge to cast on something new. And I decided I wanted to do this because I wanted to cast on something with some of the yarn that I'd got from East Anglia. And this was the only one that I had a set plan for. And I was itching to try the pattern and see how it worked out with these two colours. Downloaded the pattern, and only in reading the pattern did I actually realise the pattern was garter stitch. I don't know why I hadn't realised that. It is in black and white on the photos, to be fair, so you know, maybe I can use that as my excuse for not really noticing, but it's turning out to be a lovely fabric, and I'm liking the fact that it is garter stitch because it's something totally different to my Eclipse, being at that stockinette, and it's only 2 row stripes instead of 4. And I think that's turning out really nice. The only thing that I'm a little bit unsure about is how my increases are looking. I'm doing a make one left and a make one right, which is what's called for in the pattern, but it's just looking a bit loosey-goosey, is all I can say really. But hopefully once the garment's finished, and you can't see that, well, I can't see that in the pictures, but I didn't notice that it was garter either, did I? But I am actually really pleased with how the colours are going together. It is what I had in my mind. And I'm using these two new needle stoppers, which I got from the Corner Craft. And I will be using my little fish. I had put a little post on Instagram last night, and I'll show you this fish in case you've not seen it, 'cause it's absolutely stunning. If I can get it out without dropping everything on the floor. I've never been one for bead stitch markers, but as soon as I saw this one, I just fell in love. I thought it was absolutely stunning. And I was hoping to use this on this project, and I will be able to, but it'll only be when I join in the round. So at the moment I've got I'm using for the first time. I did say I was saving these, but I decided they went very, very nicely with this project. And as I had two that were the same, because you need 4 stitch markers at this point to mark your knit stitch in between your increases. And it is the one that I got in my book and yarn mystery box from the Copper Kettle, and I think that just goes really, really well. I can imagine that in the next few days I'm going to be knitting quite a lot on this, but I'm going to have to force myself, I think, to still carry on getting some stripes in on my Eclipse, because both of these are 2 skein projects, so they shouldn't really take me that long to do, although this one I had to really concentrate on last night. Oh, that's my stomach rumbling. So that's the 2 projects that I wanted to talk to you about. I now thought what I would do is show you, just in case you've not seen and don't want to watch the full East Anglia vlog, I'll show you what yarns have come into my stash this week. I won't be showing any minis or anything like that, because I don't really add minis. It's just full skeins that I add to my spreadsheet. Most of the minis that I ever get, normally they go just for heels and toes and cuffs and whatnots in socks, or they go in my incredible blankets. So okay, I'll just show you these first, because I think these are the only gifted ones. I did win a skein of yarn at the social evening on the Friday, but I've not brought that because I'm actually going to be Mona's having that off me, because it's more her colours. Okay, so this is the skein of yarn that I got in my official podcaster gift bag. And this is Folk, which is the yarn that, it's an East Anglian yarn that Laura dyes up. She does this, and she does The Lonely Knitter, which is her podcast channel name as well. If I remember, I will link that. This is a blend of 60% Romney, 20% BFL and 20% Suffolk. So I presume that's a local yarn to, or an East Anglian yarn, as it says. And then another full skein that I was gifted in my podcaster bag was from this seller, and this Chroma Nima only does 100% cashmere yarn. And this is the skein that I got, and it'll be very interesting to see it dyed up with this pop of blue in. It's beautifully, beautifully soft. hand wash cold, do not soak. It's lace weight, sustainable organic cashmere, and that's a 50-gram skein, which is 650 meters. So it'll be very interesting to knit that up. I've no idea what I'm going to be using it for. And was there anything else? Oh yeah, this was in the good... Sorry. I'll show you now the two... the yarns that I got in my goodie bag. So at the show, as part of when you were buying your ticket, you could also add on a goodie bag. And yeah, you could buy a goodie bag. And this is the bag we got. She's a very unique and really nice bag and a lovely colour, very big. It was very handy at the show, I must say, and for travelling back to put all my stuff in. And in there, I got... I think everybody got the same actually. This East Anglia Yarn Festival exclusive yarn, which is a very, very lovely green colour. And that is called Bellevue. And again, this is Laura, the show organiser. And yeah, Bellevue I think it's called. And it looks DK and it's 100% superwash merino. And she'd actually included some patterns in there, and the pattern for this was a cowl pattern, and then there was a pattern for fingerless mitts for these lovely mini skeins, which are very my colours. And this is Claremont mini skein set, and it's a sock minis, and it's 75% 25. Each 20-gram skein is 85 meters. And they really are my colours, absolutely beautiful. I think this green will probably be used for something for my partner, but I don't know what yet. What else is in here? Yes, so I got two skeins from James Makes Yarn, and it's these two. And I got... Lavender Dreams and then Spring Bulbs, and these are both 425 meters in 100 grams, and they are a 75-25 sock yarn. And there was so many on his stall that I could have bought. They were all beautiful colours that I really, really loved. I didn't buy these with any plans. I just knew that I wanted to buy from him, as he was a new to me seller that I'd seen a few times. I've actually seen him quite a few, Laura Penrose talking about him quite a bit on her podcast, and I knew I wanted to try because I knew he did some lovely, lovely, nice colours. And I'm looking forward to using that. I was very, very tempted to cast on this one for a pair of socks, but I've not really got a pattern in mind. I've got other socks on the needles, and I thought, no, I will cast on the top because I knew I had plans for that. Now I got two skeins of this beautiful, beautiful baby, 70% baby alpaca, 20% silk, 10% cashmere. I love alpaca, love silk, love cashmere, so you know, right up my street. And it was just my clothes. Now this was in the bargain bucket. It's a lace weight yarn, and it's 800 meters in 100 grams, and I've got 200 grams, so I can make a top with this Sommer, you know, like a sleeveless top with this quantity. I'm just toying with what to make. It's getting more and more fluffy the more it is in my bag, but yeah, it's lovely and soft. It's going to have a fabulous drape, and I do like, you know, those types of no sleeves or small cap sleeve top. So hopefully that's what I'll be able to do with this. And because I'll be holding it double to get a fingering weight, it should mark the yarns nicely. And the last yarn that I wanted to show you is Through the Wardrobe Yarn Co. Me and Mona were both very, very excited to go to her stall, and she didn't disappoint. Her colours are generally more my colours than Mona's, but we had seen, or I had seen on her Instagram, that she'd done a collection for East Anglia, and it was based on some very pop art, I keep calling it Modern Mills and Boons books. And Mona ended up getting a darker colour, and I got this beautiful one, which was called A False Start. I could have bought so much more from her stall, and I will definitely purchase from her again. And she was absolutely wonderful. She was lovely to meet and talk to, and I didn't know that she's from Norway. So, yeah, I will be looking out for future collections that she brings out, you know, with a mind to do a garment in something. And that's all the yarns that I wanted to show you. So just to update you on this month's progress. So from East Anglia, I did end up bringing in 960 grams of yarn. 200 of that was actually gifted yarn. As I say, I've not included any minis in that because I just pop them in a minis bag and I just dive into that as and when I need a mini. Yeah, so if you knock the 200 off that I got gifted, I actually brought in 760 grams, which I don't think is too bad after going to a yarn festival, especially one where there is quite a number of new to me dyers and sellers and stuff. I went with a plan. I pretty much stuck to that plan. I got the skein I needed for my top, and I knew I wanted to get some needle stoppers and some progress keepers, which I did do. And yeah, overall it was very, 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 very successful, and really enjoyed the show. So yeah, hopefully it's one that we will go to again. And I think that's everything that I want to talk to you about today. If you've got any questions or anything that I have not mentioned, feel free to put that down in the comments. Have a lovely weekend, whatever you are doing, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.